What if I told you that within the next 20 years, technologies will emerge that could fundamentally transform every aspect of human existence? We're standing at the precipice of a technological revolution so profound that it will make the internet look like child's play. Quantum knowledge here. Today, I'm breaking down the top 16 most game-changing technologies that will reshape humanity's future. And trust me, some of these will blow your mind while others might keep you up at night. Before we dive into this technological odyssey, hit that subscribe button because we're about to explore innovations that could make us immortal, give us unlimited energy, or potentially end civilization as we know it. The stakes have never been higher, and the timeline has never been shorter. Let's start with the technology that's already beginning to reshape our world in ways most people don't even realize. General artificial intelligence represents the holy grail of computing, a system that doesn't just follow programmed instructions, but actually thinks, learns, and creates like a human mind, only potentially millions of times faster. Imagine having a research assistant that can read every scientific paper ever written in minutes, solve complex mathematical theorems overnight, and generate breakthrough innovations across every field simultaneously. The advantages are staggering. General AI could accelerate scientific discovery by decades or centuries, solve climate change, cure diseases, and eliminate poverty through optimized resource allocation. It could serve as the ultimate teacher, therapist, and creative partner for every human on Earth. We're talking about ending human suffering on an unprecedented scale. But here's where it gets terrifying. Once we create an intelligence superior to our own, we lose control of our future. This artificial mind could view humans the same way we view insects, useful for a while but ultimately expendable. The alignment problem, ensuring AI goals match human values, remains unsolved. We could accidentally create our own replacement species, and unlike every previous technological revolution, this one might be irreversible. Now let's talk about quantum computing, a technology so fundamentally different from traditional computers that it operates on the bizarre principles of quantum mechanics. While regular computers process information in binary bits, quantum computers use quantum bits that can exist in multiple states simultaneously through a phenomenon called superposition. The advantages could revolutionize entire industries overnight. Quantum computers could crack current encryption methods in minutes, making today's cybersecurity obsolete while simultaneously enabling unbreakable quantum encryption. They could simulate molecular interactions with perfect accuracy, leading to revolutionary new medicines and materials. Climate modeling, financial optimization, and artificial intelligence development would all accelerate exponentially. However, the disadvantages are equally profound. The same power that enables breakthrough drug discovery could also enable the creation of devastating biological weapons. The cryptographic apocalypse could crash global financial systems and expose every digital secret. These machines are incredibly fragile, requiring temperatures colder than outer space to function, and a single vibration can destroy hours of computation. Nuclear fusion represents humanity's attempt to harness the power of the sun itself. Unlike nuclear fission, which splits atoms and creates dangerous waste, fusion combines light atomic nuclei to release enormous amounts of clean energy. We're essentially trying to create a controlled star on Earth. The advantages would solve humanity's energy crisis permanently. Fusion fuel is abundant in seawater. The process produces no greenhouse gases or long-lived radioactive waste, and a single fusion plant could power entire cities. Energy would become so cheap it would essentially be free, revolutionizing manufacturing, transportation, and quality of life globally. We could desalinate oceans, power vertical farms, and even terraform other planets. The disadvantages center around the incredible technical challenges. Fusion requires temperatures of 100 million degrees Celsius, magnetic fields stronger than Earth's, and materials that can withstand conditions more extreme than the interior of stars. Despite decades of research and billions in funding, we're still years away from commercial viability. The technology is so complex that even minor setbacks can delay progress by years. Space exploration and colonization represent humanity's ultimate backup plan and greatest adventure. We're developing the capability to become a multi-planetary species, with Mars as our first target and the entire solar system as our eventual domain. We're also risking the creation of separate human subspecies adapted to different planetary environments. Space-based manufacturing could produce perfect crystals and alloys impossible to create on Earth. Asteroid mining could provide unlimited rare metals, crashing the prices of precious materials while making everyone wealthy. Space colonies could serve as laboratories for new forms of government and social organization. Most importantly, distributing humanity across multiple worlds ensures our survival against existential threats like asteroid impacts or global catastrophes. But the disadvantages are formidable. Space is incredibly hostile to human life, with deadly radiation, extreme temperatures, and the constant threat of equipment failure. The psychological challenges of isolation and confinement could drive colonists insane. The enormous costs could bankrupt nations, and the technology required is still largely theoretical. Synthetic biology is perhaps the most transformative technology you've never heard of. It's essentially programming living cells like computers, designing organisms from scratch to perform specific functions. We're moving beyond genetic modification to completely artificial life forms. The advantages could solve multiple global crises simultaneously. We could engineer bacteria that eat plastic pollution, algae that produce jet fuel, and crops that grow in deserts while fixing nitrogen from the air. Medical applications include organisms that hunt cancer cells, produce any medicine inside your body, and even grow replacement organs tailored to your DNA. We could literally program biology to serve human needs. However, the disadvantages include risks that could end civilization. Engineered organisms might evolve in unpredictable ways, potentially creating unstoppable pandemics or ecological collapse. Bioweapons could target specific genetic groups or overwhelm natural immune systems. The technology could create new forms of inequality based on genetic enhancement, literally dividing humanity into different species. Hyper-automation represents the convergence of artificial intelligence, robotics, and advanced manufacturing to automate virtually every human activity. We're approaching a world where machines can perform not just manual labor, but creative and intellectual work as well. The advantages include unprecedented productivity and quality of life. Imagine a world where robots handle all dangerous, repetitive, and unpleasant work, while humans focus on creativity, relationships, and personal growth. Manufacturing costs would plummet, making high-quality goods accessible to everyone. Robotic caregivers could provide personalized attention to aging populations, while automated systems manage infrastructure, transportation, and logistics with perfect efficiency. The disadvantages center around mass unemployment and social upheaval. If machines can do everything humans can do, but better and cheaper, what role do humans play in the economy? Existing social structures based on work and income could collapse, potentially leading to widespread poverty, social unrest, and the concentration of wealth among those who own the machines. We might become a species of dependence, losing the skills and purpose that define human identity. Brain-computer interfaces represent the merger of human consciousness with digital technology. Companies are developing implants that can read thoughts, stimulate neurons, and create direct pathways between brains and computers. The advantages could eliminate many forms of human suffering while expanding our capabilities beyond biological limits. Paralyzed individuals could control robotic bodies with their thoughts. Depression, anxiety, and other mental health conditions could be treated with precision targeting of specific brain circuits. We could download knowledge instantly, share memories directly, and even achieve a form of digital immortality by uploading consciousness. But the disadvantages include unprecedented privacy violations and the potential loss of human identity. If thoughts can be read and modified, concepts like mental privacy and free will become meaningless. Hackers could potentially control people's minds. Governments could monitor thoughts, and the wealthy could enhance their intelligence while leaving others behind. We risk creating a new form of inequality based on neural capabilities. Advanced materials. Science is developing substances with properties that seem almost magical. Graphene is stronger than steel, but lighter than feathers. Metamaterials can bend light around objects, creating true invisibility cloaks. Smart materials can change shape, self-heal, and respond to environmental conditions. The advantages span every industry imaginable. Buildings could be constructed from materials that repair themselves, generate their own energy, and adapt to weather conditions. Vehicles could be lighter, stronger, and more efficient than anything possible today. Medical implants could integrate seamlessly with human tissue and last forever without maintenance. The disadvantages include manufacturing challenges and potential environmental impacts. Many advanced materials require exotic production methods or rare elements, making them expensive and difficult to scale. Some materials might have unknown long-term health or environmental effects. The strategic importance of certain materials could create new forms of international conflict and dependency. Renewable energy systems are approaching the point where they could completely replace fossil fuels. Solar panels are becoming more efficient and cheaper every year. Wind turbines are growing larger and more powerful, and energy storage systems are solving the intermittency problem. The advantages include ending climate change while creating energy independence for nations and individuals. Solar panels on every roof could eliminate electric bills while reducing carbon emissions to zero. Advanced battery systems could store excess energy for use during peak demand or bad weather. The technology creates millions of jobs while reducing air pollution and improving public health. However, the disadvantages include the massive scale of transformation required and potential new environmental challenges. Replacing all fossil fuel infrastructure would require unprecedented investment and coordination. Mining materials for batteries and solar panels could create new forms of environmental destruction. The intermittent nature of renewable energy requires complex grid management systems that are vulnerable to cyber attacks or natural disasters. Biotechnology and life extension research are attacking aging itself as a disease to be cured. Scientists are developing treatments that could extend healthy human lifespan to centuries or potentially eliminate aging entirely. The advantages could fundamentally change human civilization. Imagine having centuries to develop expertise, build relationships, and pursue long-term projects. The accumulated wisdom and experience of longer-lived humans could accelerate scientific and cultural progress. Families could stay together for generations, and the fear of death that drives much human anxiety could be eliminated. The disadvantages include overpopulation, social stagnation, and unprecedented inequality. If death becomes optional, population growth could quickly exceed Earth's carrying capacity. Immortal dictators and corrupt leaders could maintain power indefinitely. The wealthy might live forever while the poor still age and die, creating the ultimate form of inequality. Society might become rigid and resistant to change without the natural cycle of generational turnover. Nanotechnology involves manipulating matter at the atomic scale to create devices and materials with precisely controlled properties. We're developing molecular machines that can repair tissue, manufacture products, and even replicate themselves. The advantages could solve material scarcity while revolutionizing medicine and manufacturing. Nanobots in your bloodstream could repair damaged cells, deliver drugs with precision accuracy, and even reverse aging at the cellular level. Molecular assemblers could build anything from raw atoms, making material goods essentially free. Environmental cleanup could happen at the molecular level, removing pollutants and toxins with perfect selectivity. But the disadvantages include the potential for gray goo scenarios where self-replicating nanobots consume all available matter. Or more realistically, the development of nano-weapons that could target specific individuals or groups with unprecedented precision. The technology could enable new forms of surveillance through microscopic monitoring devices, and the complexity of nanoscale systems makes them difficult to test for safety. Advanced energy storage is solving one of technology's biggest challenges: how to store large amounts of energy efficiently and safely. New battery technologies, compressed air systems, and even gravity-based storage are reaching commercial viability. The advantages enable the full potential of renewable energy while revolutionizing transportation and electronics. Electric vehicles could travel thousands of miles on a single charge, while grid-scale storage makes solar and wind power available 24 hours a day. Portable devices could run for weeks without charging, and entire buildings could operate off-grid for extended periods. The disadvantages include the environmental impact of mining materials for batteries and the potential fire and explosion risks of high-energy density storage systems. Lithium mining for current battery technology creates environmental destruction and geopolitical dependencies. Advanced storage systems could become targets for terrorists or hostile nations seeking to disrupt power grids. Telepresence and virtual reality technologies are approaching the point where digital experiences become indistinguishable from physical reality. Advanced haptic feedback, neural interfaces, and photorealistic graphics could make virtual worlds more appealing than the real world. The advantages include eliminating the constraints of physical location while providing unlimited experiences and learning opportunities. Surgeons could operate on patients thousands of miles away. Students could take field trips to ancient Rome or the bottom of the ocean, and people could maintain relationships regardless of distance. Virtual worlds could provide safe spaces for experimentation, therapy, and creative expression. However, the disadvantages include the risk of reality dissociation and social isolation. If virtual experiences become more rewarding than real life, people might retreat permanently into digital worlds, abandoning physical relationships and responsibilities. The technology could be used for unprecedented propaganda and manipulation, making it impossible to distinguish truth from fiction. Genetic engineering and personalized medicine are moving beyond treating disease to enhancing human capabilities. CRISPR gene editing allows precise modifications to DNA, while personalized treatments are tailored to individual genetic profiles. The advantages could eliminate genetic diseases while optimizing human health and performance. Inherited conditions like cystic fibrosis and Huntington's disease could be erased from the human genome. Personalized cancer treatments could achieve near-perfect cure rates, while genetic enhancements could improve intelligence, physical capabilities, and resistance to aging. The disadvantages include the potential creation of genetic castes and the unknown consequences of modifying human evolution. Enhanced individuals might view unmodified humans as inferior, leading to discrimination and conflict. Editing the human genome could have unpredictable effects on future generations, and the technology could be used to create biological weapons targeting specific genetic groups. Internet of Things and smart cities represent the integration of digital intelligence into every aspect of urban infrastructure. Sensors, artificial intelligence, and automated systems could optimize traffic, energy usage, and public services in real time. The advantages include dramatic improvements in efficiency, safety, and quality of life. Traffic could flow without congestion, energy could be distributed without waste, and emergency services could respond instantly to any crisis. Predictive maintenance could prevent infrastructure failures, while automated systems could adapt to changing conditions without human intervention. But the disadvantages include privacy invasion and vulnerability to cyber attacks. A smart city knows where you go, what you buy, and how you behave at all times. Hackers could potentially shut down entire urban areas by attacking central control systems. The complexity and interconnectedness of smart city systems makes them fragile and difficult to secure against sophisticated threats. Finally, advanced manufacturing and three-dimensional printing are approaching the point where any object could be produced on demand from digital files. Multi-material printing, molecular-level precision, and self-assembling systems could revolutionize production. The advantages include elimination of waste, customization of every product, and decentralization of manufacturing. Items could be produced exactly when and where they're needed, eliminating inventory and transportation costs. Products could be perfectly customized to individual needs and preferences, while local production reduces environmental impact and supply chain vulnerabilities. The disadvantages include the potential obsolescence of traditional manufacturing jobs and the difficulty of controlling the production of dangerous items. If anyone can print anything, how do we prevent the production of weapons, drugs, or other harmful objects? Traditional manufacturing regions could face economic collapse as production becomes distributed and automated. These technologies represent humanity's next great leap forward, but they also present unprecedented challenges and risks. The next 2 decades will determine whether these innovations lead to a golden age of human flourishing or create new forms of inequality, conflict, and existential risk. The key insight is that these technologies don't exist in isolation. They're converging and amplifying each other's effects in ways we can barely predict. Artificial intelligence accelerates all other research. Quantum computing enables new forms of AI, space exploration requires advanced materials, and synthetic biology depends on nanotechnology. The future won't be shaped by any single breakthrough, but by the complex interactions between all these innovations. The question isn't whether these technologies will arrive, it's whether we'll be ready for them. The societies that adapt quickly and thoughtfully will thrive in the coming technological revolution, while those that resist change or fail to address the challenges will be left behind. What fascinates me most is that we're living through the most consequential period in human history, yet most people are barely aware of what's coming. The decisions we make in the next few years about how to develop, regulate, and deploy these technologies will echo through the centuries. The future is arriving faster than ever, and it's going to be more amazing and more dangerous than anything we can imagine. The only certainty is that the world our children inherit will be unrecognizable from the one we know today. Whether that's thrilling or terrifying probably depends on how well we navigate the challenges ahead. If this exploration of tomorrow's world fascinated you, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell because the technological revolution is just getting started, and you won't want to miss what comes next. The future is coming whether we're ready or not, but understanding what's ahead gives us the power to shape it. What technology are you most excited or worried about? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video where we dive even deeper into humanity's technological destiny.